run the whole show today.
That's scary. Okay.
Okay, so. All right.
Okay.
So let me start us out.
3, 2, 1. We're back in the happy hour lounge. That's what we're calling it, right? God, you think I'd already been drinking. The podcast lounge. And we're off to a super great start today. This will be the last time you go, hey, Monica, why don't you kick things off? Because I'm in the death spiral. So
I mean, it is kind of happy hour, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Technically.
Yeah. Yep.
Welcome. This is Girlfriends Happy Hour. I'm Melanie.
And I'm Monica.
And I'm Ashley.
I had to
Sorry,
look at-
I always go last. So
I
I
had
just
to
was
look at
waiting
you for
to-
verification. I am. Okay,
And
I
you
am
are-
Monica.
you are
Yeah,
Monica,
It's
that's
been one of
correct.
those weeks.
Did you hear, Ashley, did you listen the 1 week you were gone? I said, I'm Melanie, and I just looked at her, and she wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
So then we both started talking at once. I don't know.
Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
Well, so as you can tell, we've already started in on our cocktail.
Yes,
today.
we have.
And I just thought we'd keep it nice and simple, but delicious today. So we are drinking vanilla old fashions.
I've never had it with vanilla. I really like it. Is it vanilla vodka or not vodka? I'm sorry. No. See, I'm whiskey. What is it?
It's vanilla Crown
Royal. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is the good stuff.
That is the
too.
good stuff. I stopped at the Mega Bev store today.
Been in there.
And I'm so excited. I got a really extra special tequila that we're going to drink in one of our upcoming episodes.
Ooh.
So you have to stay tuned for that.
Save it for like
tuned.
Cinco de Mayo or something.
I don't know if I
Or
can
just-
wait that long.
I was like, that's
Podcast
far
de Mayo,
away.
something, you know?
Yeah, so it's just vanilla Crown Royal, and I made my own simple syrup. It takes like 2 seconds, really. I mean, well, okay, so maybe more like 2 minutes. But if you're going to use simple syrup and things like that in your cocktails, just make it fresh.
Yeah.
It's nice. And
Not
it
hard.
didn't take long. I poured the leftover in a canning jar so I can just keep it in the fridge for
Now-
a couple weeks.
Is that what is normally added to a Manhattan?
Well, we're drinking old fashions.
Oh my God, I'm like striking out here, aren't I? Having another
It's only
drink.
strike 2.
Another drink.
Just don't get that third one.
Yeah. Third, I got to chug, so that's going to get ugly.
Well, I don't know. That's the recipe that I pulled up.
I think normally, yeah, simple syrup's
Yeah,
going
there's
old
a
fashioned.
simple syrup, and then a few dashes of bitters, and you stir it up nice, and then you strain it into a rocks glass filled with ice, and you garnish with an orange,
Delish.
an orange twist.
I was like, an orange? Yeah.
Orange-
An
an orange-
entire orange.
There's
you
an
just
orange there.
Put it right in there, and you're good to go.
Yes, but today I just did a whole big wedge of orange because I figured Ashley might need a snack for after work.
Cook a little vitamin C for you.
Oh, I think I need it. I'm crashing. I need some sunshine. This like 44-degree weather is like heaven to me. Like I
know
just
it.
need, except for
As
there's
it
no
is,
there's no sun to go with it. I hear tomorrow will be sunny and like
Yes.
24 degrees, so we have that
Sunny
to
and
look forward to.
24.
I'll take anything.
But I need
yeah.
some sun. I've been like really fatigued.
I know.
lately.
I think I have that seasonal disorder. In Michigan, you so rarely see the sun. It's like, please be a sunny day.
Seasonal
Except in the
affective.
summer. We have the best summers, bar none, in Michigan. But winters are pure hell. That's why we drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
That
why we
many
drink.
other reasons.
Yeah, that's the thing with Michigan. A lot of this time of year is really depressing. So we're all just kind of sitting here. This is a strange day in the podcast.
Yeah.
It
lounge.
is.
I just went to the doctor yesterday, and I don't know if I had mentioned I had a thyroid thing going on. So I went to the doctor, and she prescribed me some medication.
So what was it?
Well, I have a high TSH level,
What does that
which
mean?
means I have an under
Oh.
functioning thyroid. So it's not regulating my body at all. Like your
Yeah.
thyroid's like the
Okay, and
brain
that's
of
what
your
would make
body.
it like impossible to lose weight then. If your thyroid is just kind of like, I'm just going to stop working.
Exactly. It doesn't realize that it's not working. And
Good for you.
yeah, so after all the chemo and everything I had,
So how many days have you been on it now?
one.
One whole day.
One whole day.
Okay,
And damn it, it's not working yet.
I don't feel any different. I'll get back with you in a couple weeks and ask you that question again.
Yeah.
And you'll go, I feel great.
The doctor kept it short. She's like, now this is a slow acting
Right.
medication. So give it, I see her again in 2 months. And
Unless
Be
to get into your
working before
system.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough time of year because it's dreary every single day, and I don't know how many parts of the country are very similar to this. I don't know.
I think
A lot of
probably
places.
probably a few.
Seattle, it rains here all the time. Yeah.
It's
And
just
here.
after a few months of winter, I'm just done.
That's why every year I have to go someplace sunny.
Yeah.
Well, we've had our coldest spell, like the most consecutive days of the frigid cold that we've had in 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's to the point too where I come home from work, put on my workout clothes, go down and work out, and then I just stay in them all day and I never leave the house. It's just like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Sounds like heaven.
Yeah.
That's what I wish. Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Yeah. So, well, it gets boring. I get very bored,
Yeah.
She texted
There's
me.
nobody to play with, so I text Melanie, I'm early, but can I come over? I'm so bored. And she's like, give me 5 minutes. So I'm like, finally, she's like, oh, fine. I know what she knows what I'm doing at home. Like standing with my coat, my keys, going,
Right.
let me come now. So I did.
Peeking in through the windows.
I am.
Can I come in
What
yet?
are you doing?
Yeah. Like, fine, you can sit there while I get everything ready. Just don't bother me.
Don't even bother me. Don't talk to me. No eye contact, but you can sit there. So I
You
said,
have to play
okay.
with Sadie because she needs
She
a
did.
friend today.
We have her in the lounge, sleeping in her little bed.
Yeah.
She's so cute. Are you going to get another dog? I want another dog.
I don't know. And I keep thinking this is Sadie's last winter, and it's so sad.
It is. She's like ours was at the end. It's kind of hard to get up and the cataracts and all that.
She falls down because we have wood floors,
Yeah.
so she slips, and her whole feet just fly out from under her, and then she struggles to get up, and she can't. And
You know what, though? She's a little, I don't want to say overweight, but she's, how can I put this nicely? She's kind of a full-figured gal. Looks good on her. That way, when she falls, at least she won't break anything, like break a hip. 'cause
Right.
She's got that
cushions.
padding, yeah. Mm-hmm. She's the
she's
best dog ever.
Is she a candidate for Medi weight loss?
Yeah.
Doggy weight
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Doggy weight
No,
loss.
she's so cute though.
Aw.
I know. I keep trying to get another dog. My husband's like, nope. It's like,
You have all those pets come in every Friday, right?
oh my God.
To
They
the
bring a
station.
pet in every Friday at the radio station. And every week I call them. I'm like, did you see? No. Dang it. It's like, and I can understand because the girls really, okay, one of them, the one who lives there full time, really does nothing for the dogs, So it's like, no, but I want it for me.
Yeah.
No, it's probably not going to happen. That's my life.
Oh, speaking of pets. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
have you guys heard the Wine and Crime podcast?
I've just heard a little bit. I heard you mention it to me once, so I've
Yes.
only listened to and then I got interrupted, so I didn't get to hear the
Yeah,
whole
you've talked
thing.
about it, but I haven't really listened
Yeah.
to it.
You guys, it's really, I can't say
guys.
it. You guys, it's really funny. It's these three gals. There's Kenyon, and there's Amanda and Lucy. Mm-hmm. And they call themselves the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accent.
Oh,
They're like our sisters in Minnesota. I love
Minnesota,
it.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Or they could be from the UP. It's all the same.
Yeah,
They all
exactly.
talk like that,
Yeah, I feel like there are sisters in
Yep.
podcast land. Just recently, so they had a listener suggest a topic,
Right.
and it was pet crimes. And I about dropped my drink, and when they said this crime that happened that they were talking about was right here in our area,
Ooh.
right in Williamston.
Okay, now I know
Wheaton
the one.
Township.
Now I know the one you mean. I remember that.
So then they went on, they told the story, and then they told a little story after, and I was just cracking up. So I have to do a little recap on it.
Okay.
And you haven't heard Monica, so this is really funny because one of the people they were talking about is a very good friend of yours.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, the story they told was about, and this is kind of tough because it's close to home.
Yeah.
It just happened in November.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe even some of my friends may be friends with this woman
Yeah.
who was murdered. And so,
Could be.
yeah. So it's a 19-year-old kid. And the story goes, he came home. He's told the police he came home really early on a Friday morning and found his mother murdered. And she was shot in her bedroom in the back of the head. Not
Brutal.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, anyway, so it turns out he finally confessed to the police that he was the one who killed his mom.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to bring home this puppy, or he brought home a puppy, and she told him he couldn't have it, couldn't keep it at the house.
And he killed her.
See, I don't know, and I hate to be like, what? Like, you're 19 and you like want a puppy, and so your mom said no, and you're gonna throw a fit about it and kill her? Like, what? I don't know. I don't get that. He obviously had some mental health issues.
He did, and I think he had been going to some treatment before that too. But one of the things she said to him was his dad lived in Dansville, so that's just 15 minutes from Williamston. And she said, well, he can live at your dad's house and you can go visit him. Well, apparently that wasn't good enough, so he killed her. So the Wine and Crime gals, they did a really good job in this story. So I'm not going to go into a bunch of details about the story.
Sure.
But it was just really funny. So when you're listening to it, when you go back and listen to this, and it's so cute because when Kenyon started the story, she said, just outside Lansing, Michigan, and she goes, "Go Mittens!"
Go Mittens!
Oh my gosh!
The girls were like, "I don't think that they're called the Mittens."
But thank you.
No.
We'll go Mittens. Yes.
Go
I
Mittens.
loved it. I'm like, but we are the state where we do point to our hand
Yes.
when we
We
tell
always
people
have a
where we
map
live.
with
I
us.
mean, yeah.
Yes.
And I
funny.
do that. Whereabouts is it? What's right here? Where's your cottage? It was up here. Okay.
And they desperately wanted a picture of the puppy. They're like, we must see this puppy that, was so important. But so I was doing I was like, I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the puppy.
Sure.
And that's how I was looking at Facebook of the kid and his brother. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have mutual friends. So I feel like probably somebody I know. So then I looked up the house.
Oh, no.
And coincidentally, it is in pending for sale, and it's with another agent in my office.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't get a chance. I was actually going to call and ask her some details.
Yeah.
Just to see what's going, what's up. God. But I didn't. So anyway, sorry.
Are we a state that has to disclose information like that?
I thought it was just California and New York.
I know we've talked about this, but I wasn't sure what the answer was.
If you are asked, if your client is asked specifically, then yes, that it has to be answered. But no, you don't have to.
But the real estate agent does not have to go out there and just say, "Hey, by the way,"
no,
it's only if they're asked directly.
So
exactly.
Okay.
If you were my listing agent and I was gonna, or if you were my agent and I was gonna buy the house and I said to you, "Has anybody been murdered in it?" You would tell me. But what about the person who's helping the seller sell the house? Do they have to admit it to you if you ask them?
If it's asked, then it has to be answered.
Okay.
The sellers have to disclose that.
Because nobody wants to deal with a ghost. When you get us our next house, I'd like to know.
Okay, and definitely, and I have clients, especially certain religions and things. They want to know, has anyone ever died in this house?
Because I'd probably still get the house if I liked it, but I'd do a cleansing.
Right. And also there's that fact of, was someone brutally murdered, and then there's the house, and then maybe it used to be a drug house or whatever, and then there's crazies out there who still think it's a drug house, or
that's true.
Yeah, there's actual still real world issues that could arise from that house, that you would want to inform them. Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. I see
that. But it's a nice house. It was listed at $219,000.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, if you're not in this area, you don't know our housing.
People in California are like, we're moving to Michigan. Yeah. You can afford a house there.
But it was a nice 4-bedroom, 2-bath kind of farmhouse. There was some outbuildings like barns and things.
So why the hell couldn't he have the puppy? No, let me stop there. He doesn't deserve a puppy. If mama says no and you kill her, you do not deserve a puppy.
No.
She probably, much like my mother, who knew that we were not responsible enough to take care of a puppy, and she didn't want to add something else to her plate, she probably was like, no, because I'm going to end up taking care of this puppy, and you're not going to do anything with it.
That'd be me. But
I understand. I understand. She's like, I have so much to do. I don't want to take care of a puppy.
See, I'm like the opposite end of the spectrum. If my husband didn't say no every now and then, I could be an animal hoarder.
Yeah.
I mean, I could really, it's bad. But I would have no problem having 3, 4 dogs, 9 cats. No, nothing weird in that at all, is there?
No, it's totally normal.
Yeah, it's very normal, Monica.
So another part of the story that just I about blew my top is one of the arguments from the defense attorney was that about 5 years prior, he had been treated for Hodgkin's lymphoma. So he had had high doses of chemo, which they were concerned that some residual effects may not have manifested themselves until recently and may have affected his judgment.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, okay.
That's like your get out of jail free card right there.
Right, exactly.
So how do you feel about that, Melanie? What's your take on that?
Do you know how many people could use that one then?
Apparently the defense didn't work because he's moving on to trial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, chemo doesn't make you, it makes you a little crazy, you know, when you're going through it.
Feel not good.
You don't feel good. You feel pissed off.
You lose your hair sometimes.
Sometimes you lose all your hair. Yeah. And it certainly causes depression, but you don't turn into a murderer.
No.
So I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh my God.
Well, you know what? Good try on the defense side.
Right. Well, probably don't have anything to go on.
I know, they're like, we're grasping at straws here. Let's take whatever we can get.
Just have to make him seem sympathetic.
Jeepers.
So the funny, then it started to be really funny to me is she said, well, her story was really short. So she started digging into some history of it and some things. And they brought up our very own Sheriff Gene Wigglesworth.
Former sheriff at this point.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. Former Sheriff Gene Wigglesworth. Yeah. And they were just cracking up. They were like, what a name. And I was just thinking, oh my God, Monica's like good friends.
It's like normal name to me.
Right.
Yes, they're close friends of ours.
Yes. So I just thought that was funny. And now his son is our local sheriff.
He's our local sheriff doing a really good job too.
Yeah. When did he take over?
Scott Wigglesworth has now been our sheriff for, it's over a year, I think. Yeah, it's got to be over a year.
I think he used to come into Bigby all the time.
Yeah, could be.
So I was really they all did. They all would come in, but I think Scott came in a lot.
Yep.
He was always very nice. Yeah.
Very nice family. They are.
Yep.
Stop making fun of their name. If you knew my real last name, that'd give you something to laugh at. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's a tongue.
It's a mouthful. Took me years to learn how to pronounce it. So.
So then they mentioned our very own badass Judge Rosemarie Aquilina.
Yes.
She's the best. She rules her courtroom like a boss. Mm-hmm. Love her.
She is the judge that presided over the fucking Larry Nassar.
Oh, piece of shit, Larry Nassar. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. You know what, too? Because, and then when it moved to, this is Ingham County. Then when it moved to deal with some of the cases in Eaton County, two of the girls were up giving their witness statements or whatever they're calling. And the dad asked, can I have 5 minutes alone in a room with him? And I'm like, say yes, let him do it. Because that's what every parent would want to do. Mm-hmm. But he tried to go after Nassar. It was great.
Yeah. Well, the judge said, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And he goes, 1 minute, just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute.
I can't do that. No. And he goes, well, I'm just
I got to
do
try.
It. Yeah. So he took off after and dove at him. And
I commend the police officers that are in the
deputies.
The deputies that are in the courtroom. I don't know if they have a specific name, but how they were gentle with him. They still had to take him down because they have to follow the rules of the court. But
what if it was your child?
I know. And
what if it was your child?
And they were very kind to him. Like, I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I really commend that because they could feel they knew what he was going through. They didn't, but they had sympathy for him.
And I'm not going to name the name, but there is a local, very well known, high up in there politician who actually said, it's too bad that the deputies were just a little bit slower, so he could have got in a couple of swings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, amen to that.
Mm-hmm. If anyone listening doesn't know, this Larry Nassar is from our very own little community, our little town, and he ran for the school board, and so all this had come out, and the child porn, and well, not all of it had come out. I'm sure there's still more to come out.
There is, and I guarantee you, there's more victims. This man is probably, I guarantee you, he is the most prolific child predator, pedophile that this country has ever seen. Mm-hmm. Because so far over 275 victims have came forth, and each one he molested probably more than once, probably many, many, many times. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the victims who have not yet come forward. It's like, I hope he has fun in prison, and I pray they put him in general pop. I would love that.
Yeah.
there's a lot of questions. There's all these, people judge and comments and like, well, how did the parents not know? And why didn't the parents protect them? And why did the girls? And then they're blaming the girls and then why didn't they report it to the right people? Well, I had a friend make a post on Facebook that was really kind of answered part of that question, like made it click for me in my head about his supporters, because I had a very close friend whose judgment I respect her, and in the beginning she even said, oh no, he couldn't have done this, and she was a staunch supporter, and like she was saying that to Mike and I, and we were like, later on we're like, oh, she's in for a hard fall if that's what she thinks. I mean, no one knew it would turn out to be this terrible,
but he is so fucking diabolical. He groomed these girls. He groomed their families. So, he would never do that, and they kept thinking, well, maybe I'm just misunderstanding this. And that's how it went on.
Kind of like gaslighting.
Oh my God. It's just incredible.
Those are the worst kind of predators, because they're the friendly people that you think could never do anything like that. And that's why I think, like, of course, there's the victims, like themselves, the girls and their families. But then there's also people like your friend who, like, in a sense, are also like people who are like victims to this like belief that like this guy is the greatest guy and could never do anything like that. And he just fooled everyone. That's the kind of person who's like just diabolical, like you said.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, was my friend who posted on Facebook said the exact same thing. She said, and we as his supporters were also groomed to be his biggest supporters. And I mean, I never really liked the guy. I've met him a few times, and I'd seen him at school.
He had this smarminess about him, It's like
he was. And of course everyone, oh yeah, sure, you can say that now, but no, he always just kind of like,
he was quite full of himself.
I certainly never, he was so full of himself.
That's
so
right arrogant. There to me is like, okay, I don't like you.
But I never would have thought this, of course,
but it's horrible.
A lot of predators are narcissistic.
Yeah.
Most, like, he's not a serial killer, but like if you ever like listen to any interviews with very famous serial killers, they're just very narcissistic. They're into themselves and only themselves, and they care about themselves. And they believe what they're doing. That's why I feel like even after that little statement was read, he still doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Oh, absolutely
because
not.
in his mind, he's just doing like
it's an actual medical procedure. No, it's not.
And he's gonna forever. He's never gonna admit to it. Like that's the thing about people like him. And he's never going to like. He'll just be on his deathbed still saying, no, I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, then he wrote that letter. What was it, like a 4 or 5 page letter to the judge about, this is
turning into a media circus, and it's like, fuck you. Oh, Judge Aquilina is amazing. She handled that so well. She read that letter, and you could just see the disdain on her face. She's like, didn't even want to touch it. This is like,
that whole GIF or GIF. I don't know what it is.
GIF.
Okay. Yeah. She just kind of like glared and just like tossed it aside. And that popped up within minutes.
Yeah.
Because I was texting someone and I was like, oh my God, that just popped up.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And the one thing first of all, she's a badass. I love her. She's been in the, was it Army? I know she's been in the service.
The reserves, I think.
I think reserves.
Yeah. And she, was married, had children, got divorced, then decided she wanted to be a mother again, had some more children. And so now she's raising children, and her parents are living with her. So she's kind of taking care of them. And, and then she goes into the courtroom and rules that like a boss. But the thing that I respect most, because she's written a couple of books, 2 of which I'm looking at now.
I've got them right here.
And she's an incredible writer. But and everybody's like, oh, she's just doing this for publicity for her books. No, she is not. If you even knew her, you would know it's not true. She has said so many times, she's not going to do interviews. I'm not going to do an interview. The only way I will do it is if I have one or more of these girls with me. This is not about me. It is all about them. So she has turned down all these interviews. But can I brag for a minute as a mom? My daughter is interviewing her tomorrow for the school newspaper. And she said yes.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
she's letting this little 17-year-old interview her for the school newspaper.
Wow. Are you and David?
Well, she asked, actually, she was so funny. She goes, you're more than welcome to bring your dad, so you can see someone actually work instead of what he does. My husband's a news anchor. So they get, so it's very funny. But I'm thinking, I might want to go. I don't know. But it's just, I'm very intrigued. So.
Well, I was just going to say, were you guys going to help her with any questions, or she got her questions?
No, we've told her, you ask questions because she knows some of these girls that have been affected by this and that were treated by him. So it's like, go ahead, write the questions. We'll look them over. We'll be more than happy to. But yeah, so really proud of her.
Right. Those girls were so brave to come forward.
Weren't
That
they,
Rachel
though?
Hollander, though. Oh my gosh.
I
just don't even
It's
know
almost
what to
like
say.
there's no words. In
Yeah.
fact, as I watch her and I think, God help her. Who has that kind of strength that can literally stand up and say, all right, I'm going to be the voice. And then everybody lined up behind her, And I hope Time Magazine remembers her because she should be their man of the year, person of the year, whatever, because she was phenomenal, and that just kind of started a chain reaction of things that really needed to be changed at institutions and with the Olympic Committee and that sort of thing. It's like, you know what? Shit needs to change. And she got it started and really proud of her.
Yeah, and she just was persistent.
Yep.
And yet she persisted.
Can you
That's
imagine?
right, motherfuckers.
All this living with this and finally thinking, I've got to tell somebody. I've got to tell somebody. Had to be so hard for her, but oh my God.
Well, she had tried to tell people. She had tried to report it.
No one believed her.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Finally getting the nerve to tell people, this happened to me. I know it's wrong. And they're like, no, you misunderstood. It's like, that has to be the ultimate humiliation. And then finally someone listened, someone believed her. And then we have the girl whose name I can't think of, who went to was it the Eaton County Sheriff's Department or something to say, this happened to me. And again, she was dismissed, and they made a public apology to her and said, we are so sorry. You were in the right. We were wrong. We will make sure this never happens again. And it's like these women speaking, they were young girls when it happened. Now they're women, and they're finally getting the ball rolling that maybe we can stop this shit from happening,
Yep.
We're not little girls anymore. We're girls. What was it? Something like we're girls that are going to come back and ruin your world.
Right. You've created an army of strong
And they
women.
are. They're an army strong. Yeah. It's amazing. I would just hope if anything ever happened in my life, I would have the guts to do what they did. It's just, I bow down to their greatness. They're blazing a trail for others,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So there's a ton of fallout on this, and as it should be.
And one more thing about Judge Aquilina, this woman is just amazing to me. She sat down with every single one of these women that were going through the Ingham County courts when she was presiding and spoke to each one of them individually. And after the trial, there were a bunch of the girls that were being interviewed. And that is the one thing they said. They would never have made it through this if it wasn't for her. And she gave them the strength to stand up and do the right thing. Judge Aquilina is the best. My favorite quote from her was like, I am now signing your death sentence. It's like, good. Good.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah, she's got some great quotes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one. It said it was something like, you played on these girls' vulnerabilities. I am not vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Just to have strong person by your side to, hear you and
I think that the fact that she gave each, girl, woman a voice, that it helped. I mean, even to start out, I'm sure I think there was some young women that were hesitant to even speak, but once they saw that each person before them was able to, just say what they needed to say for a cathartic way to get through their their trauma, that it gave them a strength to be able to do it too. And I think that's awesome.
And what's interesting about it too is this was going on. There were a couple of gymnasts whose moms were like, no, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Oh. And they're like, you know what? I have to do this. And they did. They got up and spoke, and it was just like, good for you. I'm just so proud of all of them. You know, they have nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
they were the victims. Now they're not victims. They're the survivors. He is now the victim. Ha! Yeah. Enjoy prison, Larry.
The sad thing is just the victim blaming that does go on. And how many women does it take before someone says, oh, well, maybe there is something going on
Maybe we should listen to you now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. But you know what? Lucky for these women, they came forward. They had the right people in their corner. And you know what? It turned out as it should, with him in jail for life. Mm-hmm. So amen to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cheers to that one.
We never cheers to that.
We didn't cheers
to that. Yeah, so I had followed her, you know, a little bit of her career here and there. You hear in the news, you know, the judge presiding on this local case is Judge Aquilina, and so she was had her own law firm before that, and she, as you said, she was in the like the Army Reserves or something. So at some point, like I was reading something and it said she was an author, and I'm like, no way.
And this is before the trial.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And so I get online, click, and I saw that she had written 2 books. So I did actually order them at the time. I haven't had a chance to read them, but her earlier one, it was called Feel
that's
No
number
Evil.
1. Yep.
And that was back in like 2003, and it's about a rape victim, and I haven't read it yet, but you know. That looks really good. And then the other one was released in December of last year, the Triple Cross Killer. And that one I did start. I think I read like the first few pages, and I didn't stop because it was boring or anything. It was like I was reading it before bed, and then I fell asleep, and then I just haven't really gotten back to it because I've been doing so much podcast listening and TV binge watching.
You've got other things on your plate, but there, from what I've heard from a couple people too, that there is some Hollywood interest in maybe doing a movie on this. I think it was the second book. So
yeah, and I think I read where she had hoped like it might like spark a series.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
Yeah,
amazing. Did I tell you after the trial? I sent a text, an email to her, and she actually responded back. And I just told her, I said, I just have to tell you, woman to woman, I'm just so proud of the way you ran that courtroom like a boss. You gave these women a voice. And I said, you are the type of woman, I have $3. You are the type of woman that I hold up in such high esteem. I showed to my daughters, I'm like, this is what you should strive to become as a strong woman like this judge. And she was so sweet. She sent me back. She goes, I am so honored. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
she's
awesome.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that how did your daughter get that interview?
Just, it took a phone call. Yeah.
Okay.
A phone call. And she was like, you know, and look at her. She's again just helping out a young girl who's starting out in a, you know, possible career path. And she's amazing. She's amazing.
I am so excited to read her interview then.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You must be so proud. I mean, you're proud of your girls anyway. They're all strong women anyway.
I tried to raise them that way. So, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, don't take crap from men. Mom does, but you don't have to. So.
Oh, I know, right?
We don't want to get into my job situation, but whatever.
Right. So if her book, The Triple Cross Killer, does become like a TV movie or a series or a Hollywood movie, maybe our very own actress Ashley could star in it.
Wouldn't that be something?
You know, that would be really awesome. That's not in the same vein as what you're saying, but lately I've been watching a lot of Investigation Discovery, as everyone does. And I'm like, you know what? I would really love to be like, some of the shows have like really great reenactments of the real life story.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how do I become a reenactment actress? Because that'd be like best of both worlds. I could be doing my true crime thing, but acting at the same time.
Absolutely.
How do I become one of those people that gets cast? I don't know.
You should.
I don't know how to.
Out.
I don't know how to look that up. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see what we can do.
Reenactment actress.
Yeah.
Google. What we can do.
But anyways, yeah, maybe. You never know.
You know what though? I just love it when there is a strong woman who stands up for other women and, you know, gives them the strength to stand up for themselves. They need to be celebrated and they need to be honored because it is just, so strong of her and so magnificent. I'm just so proud she's in our community.
Yeah.
Amazing woman.
You know what? That is we have the most prolific child
Predator.
Scum, predator,
I don't know what you wanna call it.
pedophile. Yeah.
Devil walking on the earth, monster, you name it. He's all of it.
To our very own Judge Aquilina.
Yes.
Yes. That's what we should be known
She's
for.
my hero. She's
and
amazing.
Sheriff Wigglesworth.
Yeah. New and old. We like them both. Well, that's all I got. I need another drink.
Well, I feel like a strong, independent woman today. I went out and bought myself a new car yesterday.
That is a fancy looking little car too. I know.
Love it.
It's 3 years old, so it's not brand new, and that's fine with me. I
No,
don't care.
my car is too. It's like, that's my car.
Yeah, and I bought it all by myself, and it's all in my name, and I love it.
Yep.
Well, and here's the thing, I came from a place of lack because I had let my son take my car to school.
Yeah.
And I've been sharing with my husband. I mean, we do work together. We have this, work out of the same office, and we.
But still, if you want to run and do
flexible.
something and there's not a car here,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. And it's not mine. Like in
Yeah.
your own car, you put your own stuff in there,
Yep.
and
You own the radio. You've got the dial set for you. Your CDs are in there. and-
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just really excited, and so I was driving it all over today, and
It's a nice car. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. I'm
Yes,
excited.
congrats.
It's got. I said it has the. It's got a remote start, heated seats, and a backup camera. All the essentials.
Yeah. The backup cameras are the best. Aren't they? It's almost
Truly.
like, how do we live without these?
I know.
They're amazing.
And even my last car was for a lot. I said it hasn't felt like a nice car since my oldest son, who's now 21,
Yeah.
started driving, and he got in an accident and he dented it. And then I got hit by a deer because the deer ran out and ran into the side of my car.
Damn dear.
And then, which happens here a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
And then my daughter, when she got her license, she got in an accident with it. So it's basically been this banged up car
Yep.
for 6 years.
Yep. And now you got a shiny looking nice car. Because I
Yep.
peeked in the window. I'm like, it does have all the bells and whistles and it just looks sweet.
Yeah, she's
You deserve
pretty.
it. You've worked hard enough. You deserve this.
You
I said
do.
this is my cancer prize. I had to go through
Amen.
chemo.
That's it. Not just cancer, but everything else that you've accomplished and made yourself through. And, you deserve, you're a strong woman. You deserve it too. So
Yes, you
kudos
do.
to you.
damn straight.
Damn straight. Can I borrow your car?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Because how many times have we
I
gone
know, but
somewhere?
you know what it is now? It's like I've lost my driver.
Right?
So I'll just have to start riding with you now.
We can do that. I can always give you a ride home. It's not too far out of my way.
Yeah, it's right next door. So
Do you guys have any fun things to share before you head back home to let your dogs out?
I know. I'm filming next weekend, so I'll be prepping, and it'll be a big shoot
Do you
because
need- are they clamoring to get Melanie and I back in the?
well, we'll see.
Okay,
I don't
we're
know
available.
if
We have cars now, so
we have to film it. We have to film it another bar scene. But I don't know if you guys could just be.
we wear wigs if you
Yeah.
need. I mean, we could do
I
something.
We'll
do have a
see.
wig.
We'll, we'll
could do
see.
something. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're filming lots next weekend. It'll be.
What bar? In a local bar?
We're still we're still shopping. Most likely
Look at me.
I won't say anything because I don't know where it's going to be yet.
Okay.
But we're AJ Orel, who was in Smoke
Yes.
Break.
Right.
He's his character's
cute.
finally coming onto the scene. So
Oh,
yep.
how nice.
So he'll be on set next weekend. So it'll be exciting because
if you ever get a chance, she's done some shorts films that are incredible. I loved Smoke
Thank
Break.
you.
There was something about it that was so subtle, yet it was riveting. It was one of
Good.
those. It was just. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just very subtle, yet you couldn't stop watching
Well,
it.
thank
You
you.
know, very well done.
Thank you.
Considering two, and I love this, two people who don't smoke are out having a smoke break.
Yeah. We were, so I might have mentioned this before, but we had rehearsed the night before. We were, we got our lines down. And then Dave was like, let's go outside and let's
Practice
smoking while we're singing
Isn't
our
that
lines.
funny?
And instantly, neither one of us, I don't remember my line. How do I smoke? I was so focused on smoking because I didn't know how that I couldn't remember any of my lines. And then I was smoking too much, which I think I even did it on set. We were actually shooting, Dave had to be like, don't smoke so much because it's going to be impossible to match up and people don't smoke that much. Don't take drags every 5 seconds. So and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I think Dave did a good job editing it together to make it look like I knew what I was doing. Yeah. Hopefully.
I enjoyed it.
Hopefully,
it was
hopefully
really
a smoker would look at that and not think that I was a non-smoker. Or maybe that I am. I don't know.
So you've done several shorts. And again, I know we've mentioned this before, but you're working on your first feature film.
As an actress.
Yes.
Yeah, I've worked on other feature films before.
And you've got some
but
wonderful extras in that one.
we do.
Melanie
This
and
is,
Monica.
this truly is the largest thing we've done as a Light in the Attic Films as our production company. And this is the most people that we've had to accumulate for everything, which we thank all our family and friends for being available and being there for us because you're not going to get paid. We appreciate all the volunteers that are willing to help because, going into it, I don't think you realize until you get started how much really goes into it and how many things we need and how many, people and locations and everything.
And I know a lot of people go to the movies and they're like, let's watch it. But for Melanie and I sitting there and they were like, so many different times. Okay, we're going to stop now. And then they have you do the same lines, but just from a different camera angle. Mm-hmm. And it's like, hurry up, wait, hurry up, wait, hurry up, wait. There's just so many different things that goes on. It was just amazing to watch.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cause I think until
we
you
want
actually
to do it again,
until you watch it, you don't know that that's how it goes.
Well, I was thoroughly stressed out the entire time because I was worried that in one take, or whatever, one shot, my drink would be full and the next shot it'd be down and then it would be full again and then it would be empty and, then and I'm like, I hope I'm doing this right.
That's and if you that's awesome that you notice continuity would be
that's good.
And so continuity is big. That's something that can be, I feel easily missed because you're so focused on everything else. Mm-hmm. But I think we've been pretty good as far as continuity and I'm detail oriented, so I think I tend to be aware of that stuff. But but that's good that you're aware of that.
Well, and then we'd go back to our seats and be like, okay, my seat was like this, and my sweater was hanging this way, and so I was just trying to.
See, that's you're probably better than most extras.
It was fun. It was just a blast.
Because that's one of my favorite things to do on IMDb is watch a movie and then even before I start watching it, I look, okay, what's the continuity errors?
Yep.
And,
well, and it's so it is difficult. You're so focused on
it's like watching Ben-Hur. They're doing the chariot races. Why is that guy wearing a digital watch?
Yeah,
little things slip up. Yep. But it was fun.
Extras have to have half a brain though. Just okay, you can't wear a digital watch.
Yeah, exactly. Or Nikes.
Yeah.
It's like certain things you've really got to get into your character. Mm-hmm. And we didn't really have to stretch too much. It was just two women sitting at a bar, which we've been known to do occasionally.
You played your roles perfectly.
We did. I know. People are still talking about that. So.
Oh, man. Well,
So it was fun.
Well, on that note, thanks so much for joining us today for Girlfriend's Happy Hour. It was a little bit of a subdued day.
Yep.
A little bit of sadness, a little bit of passion, all kinds of emotions. So we're just going to finish our whiskey.
We're just going to get plastered.
Yeah.
And go home and take a Xanax and cry.
Yeah. Good night.
So thank you for joining us. Keep in mind, we always have a seat at the bar just for you.
That's right.
I'm going to drink some more.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.